Hey guys, welcome to BigMikeMW. Today, bringing our video. Today we'll be covering the L119A1 build used by British S.A.S soldier who was involved in the rescue of several hostages during the January 2019 hostage situation in Kenya's capital of Nairobi. There was a hotel that was taken hostage by armed intruders who took a lot of hostages, over 700 hostages, and one lone S.A.S operator in coordination with the Kenyan military moved in and rescued the hostages and ended the situation. So we're going to cover the weapon here in today's video, and then we'll show the gameplay and just go into some information about the event. So backing out here, you can see the final design for the weapon. Again, an L119A1 was used here. It could have been an A2. It's hard to see. I'm reading mixed information online. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to say it was an A1, which is what I have been reading mostly, is that it was an A1 build. So first off, let's back out, and we will look at our... Let's go ahead and look at our operator first this time around. So this is the British S.A.S soldier. This is going to be the Otter skin for Safeguard. This was from Season 5. I believe this was in the Battle Pass. You get 3 skins that come with this when you do the unlock criteria. So you get Safeguard, and you get Advances, and the Insulator one. So these are 3 operator skins. The one we're going to be covering here is the Safeguard operator skin, which is basically a one-to-one depiction of what was used by the S.A.S operator. I'll leave his name blank. I'll also leave the link to a video by the channel Liveth Forevermore down below in the description if you guys want more information, more in-depth detail than I'll provide here about the information with timestamps and a lot of photos and kind of the map layout of what happened with live movement and things like that. So I'll leave that down below. It's a really great channel, Liveth Forevermore, and I'll leave the video link for this particular operation, or the rescue operation, below. So here we have our final design for the operator that you can see. This is who we're going to be using. So let's back out. We'll build the weapon. We'll go over some things about the operator there too, and then we'll jump into the gameplay. So first off, we have our L119A1. So we'll go ahead, and what we'll do, I'm using the Sulfur Wanderer for this one just because I wanted the, we needed a tan PMag here. In real life, he's using what looks like a tan PMag on his L119, so that's why I'm using this Sulfur Wanderer. It's really the only blueprint with the tan PMag, or the other PMags you can't really apply the camo to. So I'm going to use a Sulfur Wanderer. If we strip it down to base here, you'll see the final design. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use a lightweight suppressor just because it doesn't look like he's using anything similar to the tactical suppressor. It's the lightweight suppressor, just a nice plain suppressor here. Fits really what the operator is using in real life. So we'll go ahead and put that sound suppressor on. It's going to give us the sound suppression, and the damage at range is going to be reduced here. So not the best Warzone type build. However, it'll work well for replicating what he's using in real life. So we'll go ahead and select the lightweight suppressor. Now for the barrel option, the L119A1 comes with a 15.7 inch barrel, I believe it is. So for this one, we're going to have to go with the 14.5 is the closest we can get to this. So 14.5, I'm going to be using the Purist blueprint option for this. You could use the base, that one's just fine as well. The Purist, basically the same exact thing. There's very minor differences there. So we'll use the Purist. And again, in real life, he's using a slightly different handguard and things like that. Obviously, it's a longer barrel, but it does have quad rail, so this is really the closest we can get. I was also debating using perhaps the Wages of Sin, but again, that's a shorter barrel option than we really want here. So we'll go ahead and use the Purist. That'll give us the aim down sight speed and the bullet velocity. Next up, we're going to apply the tack laser. So this will give us the ADS speed, aim and stability, and the aim walking steadiness, with the laser being visible when we're ADSing. So we're going to go with the default, again, because he's using a tan laser on his weapon. I'm not sure if it's a PEC 15 or what specifically he was using, but it is a tan laser light. So we'll go ahead and throw that on, and that would be located on top of the top rail in real life. So we'll go ahead and select that. And then next up for the optic, it looks like he's using just a standard, something similar to the aim point, or in-game, the aim op reflex sight. So we'll go ahead and select that. They're going to give us the precision sight picture. The cons here being the aim down sight speed. So we'll select that. I'm also going to use the fair brass blueprint option here because the camouflages don't apply to this optic. The fair brass gives us a nice lighter variant of the aim point, which is going to go nicely with the build that we're building here. So we'll go ahead and select that. For the stock option, we're going to go ahead and want the Force Tac CQS, and I'm going to actually go ahead and select the Calibruto. You could use the base one or the Calibruto. Either or are going to be fine. So I'll go ahead and select the Calibruto. And then next up, that's really it for the attachments. We're going to go to the camouflage now. Really, we want like this desert tan, but this just does not look good on the weapon. So we'll back out, and I'm going to go with the desert hybrid for this one. I think applies really nicely to the weapon itself. You could also use something like the Kill Brush, but the Desert Hybrid looks, I think, best on this. You could also do Sand Dance, but again, the Desert Sandy type camouflages just don't really mix well on a lot of the weapons. They look too weird, so we'll go ahead with the Desert Hybrid. I think looks really nice. So this is the final design for the L119 used by the British S.A.S. soldier who assisted in rescuing a lot of hostages from this incident in January 2019. So this is the final design. It's pretty accurate depiction. Again, we don't have the right handguard or anything like that. He also had a flashlight mounted underneath the barrel option as well. They're kind of on the bottom right-hand side of the rail. He had it kind of slung on there. So those are really the only minor differences here. He had a little bit different of a buttstock option as well. Other than that, this is pretty much one-to-one for the most part. And again, it looks really nice. So if we go back to the operator really quickly, go ahead and select Otter with our safeguard. So in real life, he's using, you can see here, we have the balaclave for the face coverage. And then he's also going to be using for the plate carrier system, it's going to be a Cry AVS or the adaptive vest system. With he's got cummerbunds, battle belt on there as well. A lot of different options here that he had this thing kitted out. He's got a Cry modular rigger's belt, I believe it's called, or the MBR. So you can see there's some minor differences where he had his knife in real life was located kind of the mid of the plate, right behind where his weapon would be. But other than that, this is basically a one-to-one depiction. He had this pink, or this in real life it was more of a purple-ish, at least it looked like, button-down shirt, jeans, and sneakers on as well. So this is really a one-to-one depiction of what he looked like in real life here. Very accurate. So this is kind of going back to the Milsim operators of Modern Warfare, just doing a really, really good job here with this option. Then we're running the Glock 19 instead. There you can see in real life, I believe it was a Glock 17, but we don't have the option for a Glock 17. So you'll see me running the X16, which is really the Glock 19 and 45 ACP. So the closest we can get to the Glock 17 that he would have been using in real life. So that's our final design. Again, the L119A1 final design here. Go ahead and we'll jump into the gameplay for this. Just using this on actually a new map here because I figured this one would kind of more so replicate kind of the urban type engagements that he was in here in the capital of Kenya, being Nairobi, in this hotel area. So it kind of gives us an urban street type area to fight on. And again, I think it works out really well. It's kind of trying to play around and replicate kind of that stealthy movement. It's me, one operator here, myself, versus I believe 10 other enemies. So I'm just trying to be stealthy, move, use my weapon, suppress, stick and move, trying to do like some reconnaissance, things like that, trying to just be stealthy and move about as he did in real life, the British S.A.S. soldier. So this event again, this really happened in January of 2019, and check out the video down below. I'll link for Liveth Forevermore's channel. I'll link his video on this. Like I said, he goes into much more detail, but this took place in January 2019 when insurgents stormed a hotel complex. So this is not just a hotel building, it's kind of a complex with I believe it's like one or two blocks that it covered, this complex in Kenya, capital city of Nairobi. Now, attached to the nearby Kenyan military unit was an S.A.S. trooper who requested to support the military and police in the operation. So I think all of this took place around 3:30 in the afternoon, Kenyan time. He asked permission to assist and was given permission. And in the preceding hours, the S.A.S. soldier facilitated the rescue of many civilians. I believe at the end of the day, there were over 700 civilians that were rescued. The attackers were eventually eliminated with the help of the Kenyan military, and he assisted Kenyan security forces and military in neutralizing those threats. So check out the video down below by Liveth Forevermore. Again, what happened here really is this S.A.S. operator who was attached to this nearby Kenyan unit did some reconnaissance off the bat, tried to figure out what he was working with, and there's a lot of photos out there of him kind of sneaking around the area, familiarizing himself, doing the reconnaissance, and then he's going in and bringing out hostages one at a time. And it seems like he may or may not be eliminating people in the process, but he's taking out the hostages one at a time, and then he brings out more than one at a time, and then he's helped and assisted by the Kenyan military and police and security forces as they're going in and bringing out a bunch of different civilians. And then eventually, like I said, he assisted in neutralizing the threats with the security forces, the military, and the Kenyan police. So I think this SAS operator was recommended for the George Cross for his brave actions. Again, just a lone SAS operator who was attached to the nearby Kenyan military unit, and he was assisted by the Kenyan military, police, and the security forces. So when all said and done, over 700 people were rescued from this situation, and the attackers were neutralized. So it was a big win, and again, I don't think there were any casualties minus the attackers. There were some wounded, which again, this SAS operator did bring those wounded out. Definitely goes to show just the rigorous training of the SAS, the British S.A.S. Sea and Air Services. They're definitely the elite of the elites, right up there with the U.S. Navy SEALs, Green Beret, and Delta Forces. So these guys are no joke. Probably on par, if not better, or at least the same as some of the best special forces in the world, that being from America and Russian Spetsnaz. The British S.A.S. is definitely up there as tied for some of the top special operations soldiers that are out there. So British S.A.S. in Nairobi, January 2019. Let me know down below what you guys think of this build. Again, really nice build, pretty accurate to the real life situation, and it's really cool that we have the operator here in game. Now, this goes back to Infinity Ward and the milsim operators that they used for pretty much every season. I believe started in season 3 or 4, we were getting milsim operators with that battle pass, which was awesome. And this was one of my favorite ones that they introduced. They did introduce quite a bit, like Protector of Vale. We got JTF2, Canadian Special Forces. But this is one, especially because it's tied to a real-life event, and they did such a good job replicating it one for one. So it just goes to show the attention to detail that Infinity Ward put into their games and their content. And it leads you to wonder kind of what we would have gotten with a second year of support for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, what that would have looked like. I think it would have been a really cool thing, and maybe that'll be a separate video. We could have had more milsim operators, more weapons based on real-life current weapons, such as maybe the MCX Spear. All those NGSW, Next Generation Squad Weapon System bids that are currently up there could have been brought into the game. There's just a lot of opportunities that, unfortunately, due to that one-year development cycle, were missed. But again, this is a great weapon with the M4, or in real life, it's supposed to be replicated in the L119A1 or the A2. And again, great attention to detail from Infinity Ward, putting operators and milsim operators like this into the game for us folk that really enjoy that kind of thing. I think a lot of, if you look at it in contrast with Black Ops Cold War and some of the other COD titles, you don't really see that attention to detail. So Infinity Ward, again, just proving why they're the best COD development studio out there currently. So I think this is a great addition to the game. I would have loved to see more milsim operators like this down the road had we had a year or two. But let me know down below what you guys think. I have social media links down below in the description for Twitter and Instagram, as well as the Discord. You guys can join the community there. We're well over 300 strong at this point. I believe probably over 4. Really good community. A lot of good channels that would have these kinds of discussions about this exact type of thing. And again, you can message me there or on the social medias. I'll always respond at some point or another, depending on how busy I am. But I will always get back to you guys. So if you want to reach out, go ahead and do that. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It helps smaller channels like myself. And also be sure to check out the video by Live It Forevermore, which I'll link down below in the description, who goes, again, into basically a detailed timeline of the events that took place on this day for this rescue operation. So let me know down below what you guys think. Do you miss the milsim operators from Modern Warfare? What do you want to see like this for Modern Warfare 2? Let me know down below. Till next time, this is Buffering Gaming, out.